We tried on '09 after '08. I think '08 we over oaked a bit also, if you go back and look at it. And honestly, I account that to one thing and one thing alone. Boy, wouldn't it be easier if we blended a month earlier and then we could get labels printed and that would help. And so we did the blends a month earlier than we normally do the blends. And in doing that, I think some of the wines weren't showing in the same way. They had an extra month in oak. And I think some of the '08s became oakier over time than I wish they had been. '09, there's also something different. We racked more in '09 than we have before.
Why was that?
I thought the wines had a bit more tannin to them, and I thought they could stand the racking and would be better being melded together earlier. So by racking more, I mean, we racked once. We decided on the blend, we racked it, and then we racked again right before bottling into a tank. But that was, yeah, it's not like we did a lot of racking, and that would be considered pretty much normal for most places. But
yeah, so these did seem less tannic. I mean, forward and sort of almost ready.
But they they do not seem like just bottled, not ready for release.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true.
How much of what you do is guesswork?
Quite a bit.
120%? 98%?
Informed me.
Yeah. You know, it's somewhat informed guessing in that you look at the vintage and the vineyards as a whole and you learn certain things. 09 Oregons, where I was mentioning earlier, I don't know if you all heard, the clusters were huge. They weighed 200 to 225 grams per cluster, which is larger than we ever have. But that was at one cluster per shoot, so dropping more crop wouldn't have made a lot of sense. You would have had more green growth. So we dropped as much crop as we logically could, but it's still these giant clusters. We did about a 20 to 25% Saunier on most of the stuff from Oregon. I think the least we did was 17%. But that was a lesson learned from '06 California, which tended to be very big, and you did that. Was that guess? Yeah, I mean, we're guessing because '09 was a new vintage, a new case. We hadn't experienced that in Oregon before. But was it a somewhat educated guess because of '06 California? Yes. So, yeah, there's some guessing.
I assume it's educated guesses.
Intuition becomes experience.
The one time where we're more likely to truly guess, or just take a leap, flying leap, is if we had a vineyard that we haven't been that happy with. We've done things over the years, and it's done okay for us. The fruit may be really good, but we're not that happy with the winemaking we're doing. We will at some point say, screw it, let's just try something different. It's easier to do those guesses on stuff you're not happy with than stuff you're happy with.
You're not risking much.
Yes, exactly. If you continue the same path, you're going to continue to make the same mistake. Yeah.
So what's
So speaking of Oregon, D is fifth.
Speaking of mistakes.
D is fifth.